Hey all, for today's Mobility Monday, we're going to be going over an exercise to help improve our ankle dorsiflexion. So that's how much we can bring our foot to our shin. This would be for any of those people who were unable to do the dorsiflexion wall test that was shown a few weeks ago. This motion is super vital for a lot of different activities. So if you are lacking motion, this is a great one for you. So we call this ankle dorsiflexion pails and rails. And what it is we're going to be basically activating muscles on both the front and back side of the joint and loading them at their end range. And by doing this, it helps us gain a little bit more space in the joint, and it also helps us increase the strength at that end range, which is needed to help maintain that motion. That's the problem with a lot of stretching. You're stretching the muscle, but it goes right back to how it was because you're never actually learning to control that new range that you just gained. So what I like to do is I like to have people down in the combat position. If it's too hard to get down into this position, you can also go up into more of a half kneeling. I just personally prefer the combat position. It's easier for me to feel what I'm supposed to feel. So from here, you are going to drive your knee over your middle toe and get to the point where you're feeling a stretch at your calf and into your Achilles. I do not want any pinching at the front portion of the joint here. If you are, then we just need to not go as far, driving the knee forward, just back out of it a little bit and just hold that position there to start. We're gonna hold that stretch for about 1 to 2 minutes, and this is just helping to prime the muscles that we're about to be working. Then after holding for that 1 to 2 minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the strengthening portion for both the back and the front of the joint. So what you're gonna do is you are going to start by making some tension through your whole body. Tension in your core, tension in your glutes, tension in your fists. This helps to increase the activation of the muscles we're gonna be trying to work down here. So I have my tension, and then from there, you're gonna think about trying to drive your toes and your foot down into the ground, almost like you're trying to push down on the gas pedal, but the floor is not gonna let you move. So I'm continuing to push, and you're just starting light, and then each second I want you to just ramp it up by about 10% contraction of how hard you're pushing through the floor. So I'm pushing, it's getting harder and harder as each second goes, and then you're gonna hold that for about 10 seconds where you are pushing through the floor as hard as you can. You're gonna feel a lot of tension at the muscles in the back of the calf here. You're pushing. After those 10 seconds, you're gonna relax that push, and you're gonna see if you can get your knee a little bit farther forward. You'll find that each time you do one of these muscle contractions, you're able to go just even, a hair farther. So then from there, what you're gonna do is the rails portion of the exercise, which means we're gonna be trying to lift our foot and our toes up towards our shin, but not letting our knee move. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel a lot of muscles in the front of your shin here trying to activate. Think about trying to pull your foot closer to your shin, and also the opposite, almost like you're trying to pull your shin closer to your foot. That's really gonna increase the contraction there. Hold for about 10 seconds. After you hold that 10 seconds, relax those toes and feet, and you're gonna find you can take that knee even a little bit farther. Make sure you keep that heel on the ground the whole time. That's kind of one little set through. I'd have you do another set, do 2 in total, and then make sure you hold at the end for about 30 seconds just to really kind of get used to any of that new range you just gained. Do that on both sides. Remember, you want to avoid any pinching at the front of the joint. And then I always love to follow this up with ankle cars, which is the one I showed you last week for Mobility Monday. So go ahead and give that a try and let me know how it goes.